In this video, I will take you through the editing phase of AI images. I use Midjourney as a tool, but also Nano. It's a mix of the two tools. I will not cover the creation phase. That I will do in a course that I will be releasing, a 10-hour course in the coming month, and I will post it on LinkedIn. So this is just a way to help you understand the steps that I go through, the process I use when editing an image. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. That's not the point. The point is that we go through it step by step and give you some tips along the way to help you craft images and edit them. I chose this prompt, a surreal dream of a car shaped like a cat. And I get these type of images. They are styled in a certain way because I use two different mood boards. A mood board is like a folder, if you like, and where you put a certain type of images. And what you can do is then create multiple mood boards and combine them to get the result that you want. So, as I mentioned before, I'm not going to go through how I made the image, but rather go through the editing process. So you get all type of images. They have different styles here because I'm only using that mood board here, for example. They look more like a miniature. Then I have these ones here. So let's go for this one. I like this one. It's obviously not perfect, and that's the point. So how do we go about fixing all those defects? So the first thing that I do when I get an image, it's normally low resolution, it's not like really big, is that I upscale it. So when you go here and then upscale, you can see here on the interface that I upscaled it already, so you get 2x, and it's right here, right? So what I do is that I copy the image and then I head over to Figma, paste it here. It's a 16:9 ratio. So first thing I do is that I frame it, and then I can zoom in, and that's the reason I use Figma. You can use whatever tool you want, but one that allows you to zoom in quite in detail. All right, so just looking at the image, I think the perspective is okay. It's almost like a 3/4 view, so you can see like the front and the side, which is nice. And then what I can see already, and that's very easy to fix, is if you look at the background compared to the ground, you can see here with the color picker that the values, they change. Okay, over the shadow, that's obvious, but here they change all the time because it's uneven and it's textured. Whereas the background, you don't have that much variation. It's almost like a white rectangle that you drew. And that's okay. It's just, that's what observation help you to notice. So let's go in detail now. So I can see already that it's missing the car plate, well, or rather it's covered by the fur. You can see that these are correct, seem to be correct, the positioning, but looking in detail, you can see that it's, I don't know, it's a bit distorted, doesn't look that good. That part, I will come back to it later. Actually, I could say it right now. Whenever you make a change and you have like some symmetry, you could compare it to eyes, for example. If this was the mouth and if this was the eyes. When you edit it, you make sure that you point to this part and this part, not just this part, because it's going to make changes to this one and perhaps not take into account the appearance of the other one. So you're going to get two different eyes, two different lamps, or headlights, rather. So next is that part under. I think it could be okay, but I think we'll remove it as well. The wheel, I don't know how these are called, but you can see that it's uneven, it's distorted, so that's not good. And I would assume it would be the same here behind, but you don't see it. I like the tails here, the cat ears, and but if you look at the fur, it reminds me, because of the color, more like like a shark. It looks like a shark tail, rather, when you look at it that way. But that we can do last. That's not the priority. So now let's look at the wind screen or windshield. I'm not sure how this is called, but it's very easy to just point at this like this, and then you take a screenshot and bring it into Claude, for example. You could do that actually if you make it obvious, and that could be like anything that you don't know about, the terms. What is this called? So let's do it now. So let's go to Claude and then paste the image. What are these called? I see arrows. So you can use AI in that way, just chatting and analyzing the image for you. So windshield wiper arms. Okay, so wiper arms. So that will be helpful later. So we can just write it here. And that we know it's a windshield. Okay, that's fine. Now we can see we have a problem here. It's all distorted. The steering wheel as well doesn't seem. The positioning seems okay, but over here you get some like funny texture here, and here as well. It's supposed to be the seat, but it's all distorted. This one and the back seat area as well. You can see here as well these details. All right. The transparency is accurate. You can see through, although that part here I'm not that sure. But anyway, you can see that we have like a bunch of problems here. Another thing to note is usually you have this door gap here and then the door handle, and it's not there, and that's okay. That's the purpose of this tutorial. So what I usually do is choose a color and a shape like this, and let's write yellow. Okay, we know there is a problem here. We know we have a problem with the headlights, and here as well. And it's okay, it doesn't have to be very accurate as long as you're pointing to it, to the right area. The plate, and then that part under as well. And all of that actually you can just cover. And before we do that, I need to see where the door gap is supposed to be, like something like this. And then like the door handle. It's very rough. It's not going to look like this. It's just to give a cue to Nano Banana later. So let's bring this down here. Hopefully it will analyze those cues and understand. So, but before we go to Nano Banana, I want you to say something. Let's take this image in the editor, so not the first part, the second part here. And we're going to do the exact same thing as we did in Figma, except that we're going to use the tools in Midjourney for it. So what we're going to do is you can change the area of the brush here. And by the way, if you make a mistake, you can Apple Z undo, or you can go to restore and then restore that part of the area. So let's go to erase, and we're going to actually, let's make it big. Perhaps not that big. Like this, like so. So I'll remove all that part because I'm not happy with it. That part, I'm not happy with it. Let's also do something about the wheel here. The headlight here, and also here. And then the plate, and then the thing under. Okay, we destroy the image. You can see through like this if you wanted to restore, as I said. So for the prompt, you can either describe everything, which is like a lengthy prompt. It's a lot of things that you're asking the AI to do for you in a very minimum time span. So what you can do is just write a dot, or it could be a symbol, like quotation marks. But usually I use the dot because it's simple. And then you submit. And because you deleted all of these areas, you're giving Midjourney the freedom to do whatever it wants. But it will obviously, because you're using the same tool, it originated from Midjourney, it knows how it made the image and it remembers everything about it. So it will first try to, if it's just like a small thing like this, for example, it's very easy for it to replace it. But when you have, let's restore here. If you have like big chunks like this, you'll see that it's something else. So let's submit it as is. Okay, so you get some interesting, surprising results. Sometimes it fixes the problem, and sometimes it gives you something else. So let's look at it. Okay, it changed the wheel. It covered everything in fur. It added an eye. This one has like some steel wheel or something. This guy is now here, we don't know why. So you get some interesting stuff. Yeah, why not? It's a bench. You can relax here on the weekends. Okay, that's not exactly what we want, but I wanted to show you, that was the whole point. That if we go back here and restore everything, okay, and just erase like part of the tail here and then submit, you can see that it handles it perfectly. So, perfect. That was not like a big job for it, but here it was obviously a big job. So you could, of course, take it step by step, and let's try. Let's try to just fix the one thing at a time. Okay, and just fix the windshield. Doesn't have to be perfect like this, but it's good to give it extra room. And let's try a prompt. Oh, sorry. All right, and write windshield with wiper arm, and then submit it. And let's see how it handles it. Not exactly what we're after. Let's see the next one. You always get like 4 different iterations. That's not usable. That's not usable. That's closer, but you can see that it's all over the place. I mean, this is not. It's not raining, so there's no wiper arm that's going to be upright like this, and then it is all of this is just messed up. So what I do normally is don't use it for that kind of editing capabilities. I do it for the smaller part like we did on the tail here. So let's go back to Figma, and we have our image here that we're gonna copy as an image, and go back to go to Nano Banana. So you go to aistudio.google.com, and then you should be able to see that, and you can choose Gemini or any of these. I use this one. I could get like a paid account here as well. For the purpose of this tutorial, you can just use Nano Banana 2.5. So here I could write again a long prompt, but what I normally do is remove the yellow parts and fill in the gap. We could be perhaps specific as well, include windshield wiper arm and car plate. Wiper arm, door handle and car plate, and choose the aspect ratio 16:9 and then run. And sometimes you get this, or often you get this, we don't know why. So you just copy the text and do it again. Copy the image, paste it, change the ratio, and send. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 times the same message, so in which case you just have to do it again. When you get the results, it's not always going to be close to what you had before, and you need to be open to the suggestion or the direction that the AI has taken, and it's then up to you to decide whether you want to follow through, take a chance, and follow that path, or you can rerun. So the first thing you do is that you open that and then you copy the image. The best thing to do is to download it, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll just copy it here. I like that he put the art 01 there. You can see like the ghost headlight filled with fur. You can see that these are correct. This is correct, and it's also like neat compared to Midjourney. You can see that the door gap is there as well, and the door handle. So I assume that it's one of those doors that you open like this, you know, like this. So it's not the exact shape. If we take our initial image and compare it side by side, you can see that this is all like transparent glass. So what you can do is, if you want to keep it that way, you could always say, now once it's fixed, like the main things, so let's go back here, by the way, and see that this is consistent, this is neat. The windshield is neat, everything else is neat. It has fixed all of this under. I really like that line here. I think we could have had a little bit more of that line over here, but it's up to you then the amount of detail that you want in your image. So let's go back here and say that I actually want a transparent rooftop, because you may not have the exact shape that you had, but because obviously it was covered, so it's hard for the AI it's just guessing. We can see now that it has this transparent rooftop here, but it's not like the whole part here are transparent. So, and it also in the process, you can, and be aware of that, is that when you ask for changes, you're going to be focusing on the area that you ask changes for, and you may overlook other things, like this is new, the interior is new, everything else seems to be the same. And I don't like it like this. I don't think this is working. And so I like this one. I can rerun it here and see what I get. I can take this image as a record and put it here. You never know. So let's see what we come up with. That's interesting. It's a little bit more like secret. As I mentioned before, look, it added like one detail here that we didn't have before. But that could be okay. I think it changed the door handle as well. If we look at the door handle before, it doesn't look like... You see, it's like a different one. But that's okay. I like this. I like this one. It changed the car plate as well. Art car. Now it's called Art car, and before it was called Art 01. So you get like some surprises. And then if you look closely, you can see that the headlight here has some seems to have some reflection from the wall, and I don't like it. So let's do another. Did we make a copy of this? No. So let's just copy it and paste it here. And then rerun it and see what you get. And that one we can delete. I think, by the way, it worked out that this was like supposed to be the door gap and the handle. All right. It came back to Art 01. And now it covered the... all right, so let's go back to the versions that we had. And I think I'm happy with this version. However, we need to fix the background here. So you remember that it's almost like plain color. I don't like it. Doesn't look natural. So let's take this image, copy it again, and let's start a new thread. Sometimes it's good to start a new tab. Don't forget to change the ratio and ask for to change the background to a white concrete wall with some texture that doesn't look even. Okay, that's better. Let's make a copy of this. So let's branch out here because that's where we were. By the way, we can always ask it to have like these kind of, I don't know how they're called again, tainted glass. Let's go back to, okay, so let's go to Claude and ask, how do we call this dark, how do we call this dark glass? Just to get the right term. Tinted windows. Okay, so let's go back to Nano Banana and ask for make windows tinted, fully tinted. Okay, so this version looks okay, but I think we can rerun it. I think that's all right. Let's skip this one, this version. Let's skip the tinted. Oh, mind you. All right, let's keep it like this and ask for make headlight made of fur, white fur. Let's see. Okay, he got it right. Though that part here is not right. So let's rerun it. Otherwise we'll go with that one. Let's make a copy of this one. Go to Figma. That was like a previous version I had tested. So like this. Here. Okay. All of this is a bit distorted now. One thing you need to be careful about is between each iteration, sometimes you get degradation, image degradation, and it means that it becomes very pixelated for some reasons. So make sure that you keep an eye on that aspect, because otherwise you're going to make many iterations, get to the style that you want, and then at the end you look closely at the image and it's super bad quality, and even with an upscaler you're not gonna get a better image. So having said that, I don't like this one, so I'm gonna trash it. Let's stick with this one, but let's go to Figma. I want to show you something. Let's take this cat here, bring it over here. When I look at this car, it reminds me of a shark for some reason. And so I want to have that kind of pattern. So let's keep the original 16:9 ratio. Copy that image. It's important that you, if you're going to import an image reference, that it has the same ratio as this one. Doesn't have to be the same scale, but the same ratio. Otherwise, you're going to get something that's kind of shrinked in Nano Banana. So let's delete this one and then bring in the reference and say, I want the fur, the car fur, to match the cat fur. And let's see what we get. You want to, the goal is to make it more cat-like pattern, you know, pattern-wise. But no matter how much it will look real in terms of pattern, you're always gonna have like a counter force in your brain that tells you that there is no such thing as a car shaped as a cat. But you can have it as in the back of your mind anyway, because you want to make it as real as possible, even if you have that force in your brain that tells you that, that logical brain that tells you that this cannot be. But this is like a conceptual image, so you don't care. Let's see what it came up with. All right. He made all of it. Let's zoom in a bit. I'll make sure that it didn't change anything else. Now let's make a copy of this. And let's move the cat here. Let's bring that. You can see it added one more detail here. These ones. That's nice. So sometimes there are things that you just overlook, and it just bring in those details that you perhaps forgot or overlooked. So that's good, but just be aware of things showing up and disappearing as well. You have one here as well. That indent here, you don't see it that much here. Well, I think that's okay. Though you could try to, because it was there, you see. So you could continue that process of framing and putting like a yellow rectangle and say copy. Paste it here and ask for make the left headlight more prominent, and see what you get. By the way, I'm not happy with this car plate here, so this is like a change we're gonna do. I can see that it seems to have added this part here, which no, actually it was here. I just had missed it. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, by making the headlights more prominent, it actually added lights, because you had lights in the prompt. So basically, you, as I said before, you need to be open to directions and what you get. As long as you're happy with the result, you can branch out and have different version. So what you do is that that's why it's good to keep track of all the versions. I think you can in Nano Banana you can link it to your Google Drive, so you get all of the iterations saved. But in the process, I usually just keep them here. So you can see how we started over here. That we changed first the shape and fixed all the defects here. We fixed the wheels, we added a door handle, the door gap. We lost the transparency here that we had. And that's okay, it's like a different direction. Then we continued and have dark tinted glass, and then we changed the fur type to be more cat-like, and then we had some indents here that we did not manage to fix, but I actually like it like this. You could add like a cat. We could go and ask make the headlights in the form of in the shape of cat eyes. I see. So if it manages to pull it off, it would be good, because that was not your intention at first, and besides, that was not perhaps your intention from the start as well. So you need to work with the AI and see what you like and don't like through testing. Through iterations, you get to results that's like the byproduct of the AI and your intention. And so you're directing there, you're giving some liberties, but you can also backtrack and decide which direction you want. So let's see what we got. All right, so exactly what I wanted. So that's more like cat-like. So I'm gonna keep a version of this, paste it here, and now I want to change this. You can see, so I mentioned the degradation. I think that's like from iteration to iteration, you sometimes get some artifacts and distortions there. So we can ask by actually remove the car plate, because sometimes it's not about modifying, it's about removing. So that means you go from a clean slate, and then even if you ask it to add it after, like this, okay, this is good, because you have at least a version where it's clean. You don't know what it's going to come up with next. And say add an American type, or let's keep it simple, add a car plate with name cat. Because when you start from scratch again, it's not gonna try to build it from here, or keep the badly made plate and then try to add the text here. It will start it from scratch, where you have no plate anymore, and then you can see now that it's much cleaner cat and it's centered. So perfect. I copy that image and then I paste it here. You can also you can notice as well that when it added the lights, you can see the reflections there as well. So the environment also it's conscious of its environment around the main object. Now This is not like a perfect image, I would say, but the whole point was to show you how you can start from an image in Midjourney and then go and do outside of Midjourney to edit it, and then even come back to Midjourney and do further edits there. So I think we are happy with the results here for the purpose of this tutorial. As I said, I will be releasing a course that will be covering all of the aspects of AI image creation from start to finish. So the last step I would go through is take this image. I could actually go back to Nano Banana here and download it to the desktop. And go here, and then I could copy and then go in the edit panel again. So I paste it. You have layers here, and I'm going to remove the watermark here, and then say nothing, and then submit. So you can see that the number of iteration that goes in the editing process, and how you can change direction depending on what you get and where you want to go. Sometimes you get some good surprises, sometimes some bad surprises, but you need to remain open to what the AI gives you and compared to your original intention. So now we have removed this. We can see that in 4 it's the same, it's pretty simple. So you upscale it to the gallery, and then you go to another tool that I use called Topaz Gigapixel AI. Go to the upscale version. So you can see here the side by side what we started from and what we ended up with. Okay, it's still pixelated now, but you will see the result shortly. You can see like a clear improvement, you see. You're gonna go and download that image. Download it. And I'm gonna take it to and drag it in Gigapixel. And here you can choose 1x or 2x, 4x or whatever. Choose the resolution of the image. I'm not going to be doing it here, but this is a tool that will be covered as well in the in my course. So let's grab this one and copy it and head to Figma and paste it here. And let's bring the original image here so you can see it side by side. Actually, I have more space like this. Okay, so you can see that the plane, we did something about the plane background. Now we have a bit more texture. We fixed the all that part that was all like super messy. We fixed, we have here with tinted glass. In my opinion, this is a little bit too CGI-like, but this is something that you can easily fix. We fixed the wheels, the car plate that was hidden, that part was fixed, and the car door handle, and that part here that you can see, that line that reveals the structure of the door. It had added as well those they call fender, not sure, and we changed the texture to make it more cat-like. Where's our cat? Over here. And we had some headlights that look like cat eyes, a little bit like in the cat bus, if you heard of that or that one. But anyway, that's the end of the tutorial, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I think it will be uploaded on YouTube, but you will get a link in LinkedIn. So yeah, that's it, and thank you for watching. Take care now.